Are you tired of being a reactive pawn in someone else's twisted psychological game? You can end the cycle right now by severing the feedback loop through total, intentional absence. We are diving deep into how vanishing creates an unbreakable sovereignty that forces toxic people to lose their grip on you. Strategic disappearance is not running away. It is a deliberate act of power. In Stoic philosophy, it is the disciplined choice to withdraw your attention, energy, and presence from those who feed on drama, control, or emotional chaos. You stop supplying the oxygen that keeps their influence alive. Marcus Aurelius faced difficult people constantly. In the Meditations, he reminds himself that the world is full of the ungrateful, the arrogant, the deceitful, and the envious. His response was not endless engagement. He trained himself to meet them with justice when duty required it, and with calm detachment when it did not. Epictetus went further. He taught that no one can truly harm you unless you grant them access to your judgments. The moment you decide that another person's approval, anger, or presence is necessary for your peace, you hand them the keys. Seneca warned against keeping company with those who drag the soul downward. He advised choosing associations that elevate and quietly releasing those that do not. In modern life, the same principle applies with greater urgency. Toxic people often thrive on reaction. Every argument, every justification, every emotional reply becomes data they use to adjust their tactics. Your continued presence keeps the loop intact. Strategic disappearance breaks that loop. You do not announce it with drama. You simply stop feeding it. You reclaim the only domain that was ever truly yours: your mind, your time, and your attention. This is not coldness. It is clarity. The Stoics never taught us to become heartless. They taught us to stop confusing endurance of abuse with virtue. Endurance of what is up to us, our character, our responses, is noble. Endurance of what is not up to us, another person's toxicity, is often just self-betrayal dressed as patience. Here is how to practice strategic disappearance with Stoic precision. First, decide clearly and privately that the relationship no longer serves your virtue or peace. Write it down if needed. State the facts without emotional inflation. This person consistently drains, manipulates, or destabilizes. Once the decision is made in your own mind, you no longer need external validation for it. The judgment is yours. That is the first act of sovereignty. Second, withdraw without explanation or performance. Do not send a long message detailing their faults. Do not seek closure through conversation. Closure is an internal event, not a negotiated one. Simply reduce contact to the absolute minimum required by necessity: work, shared obligations, or legal realities. Outside those boundaries, become unavailable. Silence is not passive. In this context, it is an active refusal to participate in the old pattern. Third, redirect the energy you once spent reacting. When the urge to check their messages, social media, or mutual friends arises, treat it as a training opportunity. Epictetus would ask, "Is this within your control?" The answer is no. So return your attention to something that is: your work, your health, and your own standards of conduct. Each time you refuse the pull, you strengthen the muscle of indifference to externals. Over time, the pull weakens. Fourth, prepare for their response without attaching to it. Some toxic people escalate when the supply of attention is cut. They may try guilt, charm, rage, or triangulation. Expect it the way a sailor expects weather. You do not have to board every storm. Your only task is to keep your own vessel steady. Marcus repeatedly practiced the view that another's opinion of him was their business, not his. Adopt the same stance. Their reaction reveals their character. Your non-reaction reveals yours. Fifth, fill the space with deliberate self-respect. Strategic disappearance is incomplete if you simply create a vacuum. Use the reclaimed time to strengthen the parts of yourself that were neglected while managing the toxicity. Read. Train the body. Keep promises to yourself. Surround yourself, when possible, with people whose presence does not require constant emotional defense. Seneca noted that we become like those we associate with. Choose associations that make virtue easier, not harder. These steps are not a technique for winning a power struggle. They are a method for ending one by refusing to play. The toxic person may interpret your absence as weakness, punishment, or game playing. That interpretation belongs to them. Your responsibility ends at the boundary of your own actions and judgments. The deeper lesson is this: power is not the ability to control other people. Power is the ability to remain unshaken by them. When you strategically disappear, you demonstrate that their presence is not required for your equilibrium. That demonstration is often more disruptive to their influence than any confrontation could ever be. They lose the feedback that once confirmed their effect on you. You gain the quiet proof that you can stand alone. Remember Marcus's daily practice. Begin each morning by accepting that you will meet difficult people, then resolve not to be made like them. Strategic disappearance is simply the practical extension of that resolve. You meet the difficulty once, clearly, and then you step aside so it can no longer define your days. You are not obligated to remain available to those who treat your peace as expendable. Reclaiming your power begins the moment you stop negotiating for it. Vanishing, when done with intention and without malice, is not escape. It is the sober recognition that some environments cannot be improved by your presence, only by your absence. Practice this with calm consistency. Measure success not by whether the other person changes, but by whether you remain free. That freedom is the only victory the Stoics ever considered worth having. If this perspective helped you see a situation more clearly, leave a comment with the one boundary you are ready to enforce. Like the video if it gave you language for something you already felt. Subscribe if you want more practical Stoicism without the noise. Your attention is valuable. Spend it wisely.